That's muted. Good. All right.
Hello.
I'm going to clear the chat. The chat. Start fresh. There we go. Oh, I can see how many people are on. I'm going to do that too. Yeah. That's
well,
what I used to do.
Look, I can see it streaming, and I've muted it so I don't get the echo back anymore.
Sorry, I thought it was going to have the speakers for a second. It was like annoying me. It's not. It's all good.
Is anybody here? 4 people. But I'm one of them. Who's here? Can anybody hear us? That's what I want to know.
Hello? Bueller? Bueller?
Bueller. Hey guys, thank you for letting us know. You get the audio. I want to know if they get the audio from the game also.
Yeah, you should be hearing the game music. Let us know if you can't. I just have to open up this box of toys I just got. Sorry, it's much more important. It's a Godzilla. You might think I'm joking, but I'm not.
Oh, did the mailman come?
Yes, I thought I heard something. Oh, that's pretty. It's not even in a box. Oh, that's sweet.
We're going to just wait another minute or two. When we were doing our sound test earlier, there were around 14 people, so we'll see if they're going to come back.
Unless we scared them off.
We didn't scare them off. You think we scared them off?
We terrified them.
They heard my accent and they said, hang on, that person's not right. Australian.
And I can't understand the guy. He's the best weirdest accent. Oh, that's an... So I just got a new Godzilla figure. That just made my day.
Yay. Well, speaking of figures, we were looking at that new Blade Kitten statuette for the Kickstarter. That model's looking pretty good.
Yes, you should mention that one of the plans, like the Thai thing, I think the Thai Kickstarter, was to do a big high-end figure like we did. Well, here's the thing. For Thai, we did these nice large Thai figures for Thai 1 and 2, and the Thai and the Bunyip for Thai 2, and they're really cool because we did that 15 years ago. We did Blade Kitten, we did a couple of statuettes just to... I don't even know why I decided. I just wanted one, so we did a big... it's like a 22 centimeter tall kit and Skiffy and the blade.
Yeah, like 16 inches, right? No?
I can't do it 16 inches. I have to do my ruler out now.
22 centimeters convert.
No, wait, no, 16 inches of weight. No, it's not that big.
No.
It's about 20 centimeters. It's probably like 9 inches. Maybe 10.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So how many people we got here? I guess we'll start. No.
All right, I just measured my Thai 2 statuette. It's 10 inches.
Oh, well, yeah, Kit's less than that, so she's probably like 8. But it feels really, it's like, it's a good size. We're doing some new stuff for it, but and making it available to everyone because there were only 3 made originally for the other one. So we'll talk more about the Kickstarter and stuff that we're thinking of as we go during the day, I guess.
It is still early days, and
we're
definitely going to need people's help to work on this. So you know, I actually haven't played Blade Kitten. I've seen it. I'd love to know more about the brand. You know, I love Disney, and you love Star Wars, and you've got 2 big brands, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger and Blade Kitten. And of course, I know a lot about Ty from the last few years working on it, but what about Blade Kitten? Like, where did the inspiration for that come from?
That's an interesting question because it was just me wanting to. Okay, so this year, in fact, this month is the 30th anniversary of the first game I ever got released, which was Halloween Harry with Apogee back in 1993. That actually was released. I was doing games before that, or trying to do games before that. So one of the things I did on that one is like all the games I did early on, I always wanted to do anime style stuff because that was the reason I got into doing art. I think not doing art, but there was a point when I was like, I remember in the 9th grade, we were doing art stuff, and I hated drawing people. I think I was terrified of drawing people and it looking terrible. So I just didn't want to do it. I just scared of interacting with people and drawing stuff like that. Scared's the word I'm using. It's not like it was almost pathological fear of having to do that stuff. When I saw like Astro Boy in like what was that, 84? The latter part of the 20th century. It's like, I like this cartoony stuff because I wasn't a big Disney fan personally. It's like, yeah, that was all right, but it wasn't my cup of tea. And then this anime stuff is like, oh, this is cool. It's kind of cartoony and there's action and there's robots and stuff. And that sort of got me into drawing stuff. And then for years, when I started making games, I really wanted to try and do like anime style stuff. Because I was doing that for comics and manga. I had some stuff published in the States in the early 90s. So like black and white comics, because that's what you could do back then. I was really big on that sort of sci-fi, mostly because it was sci-fi action, and for the longest time I just wanted to do a new anime style looking game. Everything else I was doing was like much more mainstream, trying to look normal being the current Western style stuff that was popular at the time, but I really wanted to do anime. And it wasn't until like the 2000s that there was enough of that what's the word, critical mass of people doing stuff, and the interest in stuff. You had all like in America there's Adult Swim, and then the Pokemon cartoon and all that sort of stuff, so people were more used to it. And I just thought, I think it was literally, there was an actual moment when I decided to do it. It was going to E3 in 2001. It was while we were working on the first Thai game, and then walking around the show, and it's like there's a couple of major characters from like Sony and Microsoft, and like, well, they're really anime inspired. If they're doing it, I want to do that. Damn it, I'm going to do my own thing. So I came back, and that was like, Blade Kitten was like based on a bunch of other stuff that I'd been working on previously, other ideas, as in this one's too serious, this one's too cartoony. Kind of what's that's halfway between these two things. So I sort of like, and I wanted to. There was another game we were working on earlier at Krome called Cat Burglar, which was
I remember sci-fi. Cat Burglar, yeah.
And it was very 60s sci-fi, and that got put aside because publishers felt it looked too much like No One Lives Forever, which hadn't come out at that point. But it's like, oh yeah, she's a 60s spy, and this is a 60s burglar. They're obviously the same thing because they're women. That was the whole logic at that point. It's like, so I just thought, you know what? I'm not going to try and do anything that's too niche. So it's like, it's going to be a pink-haired cat girl because it's almost the most generic anime thing you could do. So one of the tenets I've always had is 2's a copy, 3's a genre, right? You have two games that are kind of like each other. It's like, oh, well, they can be copies. But if you have more than 2 or 3, it becomes a genre then. It's like 2 first-person shooters is like, oh, they're copying. 3 is like, oh, it's a genre. They're first-person shooters. So I just figure like, go for something generic so you're not up against one other thing. You're up against a whole group of things. And it's a much easier battle to fight.
Yeah, yes, it fits in versus seeing like a copy and getting that criticism.
Yes. Also, didn't you get picked by Microsoft for that Xbox Arcade program? We did do some Microsoft Xbox Arcade stuff, but that was later on.
Well, Krome was one of the only outside studios to be given access to the avatars when they were first launched. Were they called avatars then? What were they called?
I think they were called avatars in the early days, yeah. So we had a great relationship with Microsoft, actually. They like, it's funny. Like some of the biggest companies are actually the best ones to work for when you're a dev. If you get in and you understand their processes, it's like it goes reasonably smooth. It's not like they throw weird stuff at you. It's like, yeah, you need to do this, 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 and this. And if you do that, they're like, hey, great. But, Microsoft was like, yeah.
Well, they hadn't released them yet.
So we were trying stuff out.
I think we were the only outside studio to have that.
But later on, unfortunately, we never got to release the Blade Kitten avatar stuff we did. With this whole bunch of stuff we had planned. But
that would have been fun.
Yeah, there were kit costumes and little skiffy hats and kids' pajamas and Soul Troopers, t-shirts and all that stuff. It was fun. It would have been fun.
You showed me her in little slippers that you've designed, even.
Yeah, that was one. It was like it worked really good. It's like the little cute kid on the screen. It's like, oh yeah, she's got the slippers on. So I think we should get started.
Yeah, I'd like to see this game.
I'm going to start. Do you guys want me to start an episode? The first thing, the prologue, or actually just jump into the cool level? No, I'll start the prologue. So I'll do a new game.
So there's two versions of this game. Two games, like there's 2 chapters you call them, or episodes?
Yeah, technically, the game was designed in 3 acts. There's Act 1 and Act 2, and that's part of Episode 1. This is the early days of DLC and online stuff, and we're just trying to work out how can we tie something to that. So there was Episode 2 was going to be the last third of the game. And that also let us finish off part of the game first. Which, we were only a small team at Krome doing this stuff. Got a new game. And here we go. I'm going to shut up for the intro because I'll talk after that. But here we go.
Ballard. Kit. Breaker key. K559558BAL.
Tara Lee, leader of Squamatan troublemakers, known as the Nortean Wolves. Bounty, 1 million hex.
I'll take it.
Actually, Pumpkin, I think I'll take it. One would hate to mess up that lovely hairdo.
Aw, shucks. Are you trying to scare me or something? 'Cause you really suck at it.
Okay then, fine. We'll play it your way, shall we?
What the? My ship!
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you need it? Thanks for this. Ta-ta.
Are you just gonna let her get away with that?
Actually, yes. You will need to resolve this situation on your own.
Blade, heal. Are we ready? Okay, Blondie Belle. Bring it on.
What interest do these off-worlders have with us? That human has a new playmate. Let's keep an eye on them both.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you two Noinks doing? She's getting away.
Halt! This is a restricted area under the protection of the Sol Triumvirate. Stand back or we will proceed with the use of deadly force. This is your final warning. Thank you.
My breaker key!
I said this is your final warning.
Okay, Ginger Pants. You can just stop there.
And we begin the game.
That's crazy. So her ship got blown up by a competitor.
Yep.
And her breaker key's gone.
But now it's like, oh, she can't get any money until she gets a breaker key. So obviously the start of the game is she's on alone. She's just got a sword. And she's stuck on this planet. Not getting money, doing her job as a breaker, which is a bounty hunter, basically. I wanted a different word for it that was its own thing. Because it's cool when you do that. I thought it was. Kit's big thing as a platformer is obviously you got lots of cool jumps, including triple jump. Your sword can attack, and you can use the left stick to actually attack in different directions. You've got close range attack, a long range attack, but the long range attack only goes out left and right, and it takes up stamina.
So this is a 3D game, but it looks 2D.
It's a 2.5D, as in, so it's all on a single plane, but it's all made of 3D objects. Kit can climb anywhere.
That's cool.
You can sprint, climb anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And you can collect treasure.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
You plant her sword in and then...
So the currency's called Hex?
Yeah.
So she had like 10 in her pocket. Now she's got over 5,000.
Oh, they go up really quickly.
Mm.
Oh,
and what are these things?
So these
what
are
are those
soul
green
troopers.
things? Oh.
Wait, green things?
Oh, there were little floating green things up on the ceiling.
Other color hex.
Hmm.
Flanker!
You can slide. And literally climbing is like you just push directions. So there's 10 hex. That's the lowest denomination of hex.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the red ones.
Yep.
1,000 hex.
And what are those striped things floating there that look like exclamation points?
They're basically exclamation points. they are literally that. They are basically help things.
Help. So when you cross one, you get a help box, a tutorial, something that guides you. Okay.
So in Thai we had signs, and this one I did with this. These are automatic. It's like they pop up with the text to tell you when you're in the area. Because we didn't want you to have to stop and press buttons when you're reading that stuff, because that's annoying. But I wanted that to be on screen.
Hmm.
So at the start of the game, there's a lot of the pop-ups is telling you all the basic stuff. Like coming up here. Now you see little glows around their head sometimes?
Yeah, what's that?
Right, let's get one up again.
Oh, yeah, sometimes.
You're new to this,
You can do a crouch attack.
When they glow, you can do a crouch attack.
If you see that little thing, you can grab that sword button.
Yeah.
And there's little jump pads. Okay, and here, that's a restart point or a save.
The glowy.
Yeah, so you'll restart from there.
You mean no dunny, no toilet?
Nope. So that weird shape is something I did like in 3D like years ago, and I did it. I don't even know how I worked it out. It's like it's just spinning around in circles. It's not actually doing anything tricky, but it looks like it's wrapping on itself.
Yeah, it does. It's wild. That's cool.
Hey, you, Blondie!
Oh, you. Haven't you learned to give up yet?
Nope, they don't teach that in Breaker School.
I see they don't teach style either.
My breaker key!
What's the villainess's name again?
Justice Kreel.
Mm-hmm.
So you have doors. Okay. So remember I said there's a range attack on the sword. There's a switch. That's a sword switch over there, and you can only hit it with the sword or get. That's called a danger roll beam because it's dangerous all the time.
So you're trying to, and so that graphic on the right is indicating the reach it with the sword.
Yep.
Okay.
You can smash through walls to find hidden stuff.
Look, I really like the textures and the art design on this. It's pretty. It's like accessible, but like techy at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's all for that weird look from it. It's not that far off, say, stuff I designed on Thai. I worked with Adam and Mark, who did concept art for the environment stuff. I sort of did the characters and the vehicles and weapons, because that's the stuff I really liked. And I was writing the story, so I let them do that. And they really caught on straight away with just that kind of alien vibe. Like, I would give... I did a rough block for that... okay, see that block there that she's clinging on? Those things are designed so that you can rotate in different angles. They all look slightly different, so we can get a bit of variation on that. But I did one of those up roughly for Mark, and he went off and ran with it and started doing all the other little bits and pieces like platforms. And so I didn't need to give him lots and lots of guidance, which is great. They really like got the spirit of what we're after trying to do. Okay, so push that again. We're going to use our sword grab now, which is also the block. but it plants a sword and stuff so you can't get blown off. And you can also use it on the ceilings and stuff. It just makes sure you grab things.
Do you hide any Easter eggs in this game?
Oh, good lord, yes. So many.
I was reading the ABC News this morning and caught an article about Bluey and the long dog. Did you see that?
No.
In all the episodes of Bluey, the background artists started putting like little dachshund-looking dogs in, and it's become a little secret for people to find in the episodes. And in the article says there's more than just that, but he hasn't read that anybody else has discovered him yet.
There's tons of there's stuff that's Easter eggs for me that most people won't even know about because it's just stuff that I've from old comics and things. But this is the first time people see it, and it's like, yeah, it's pretty much not an Easter egg, I guess.
So K-Dash was asking about, bringing it to current gen consoles, and Mad the Sane is asking about a native Mac version. So where we're at right now is the programmers are still, for those who have been following along on the Krome Insider newsletters, you've caught wind that we're on a big project. So the majority of the Krome staff has been working on that, and that's in like final submission, getting ready for launch. So once they free up, we'll have them look at the code base, and we'll start talking about what it's going to take to get it out there, and other versions and things, and hopefully make some stretch goals, and we'll just see. We just don't know yet until people can start looking at the code.
The interesting thing with Blade Kitten over, say, the Thai remasters is that we don't have to do art on this one because it is actually designed to run HD and it's fully 3D with like cool normal maps and stuff. So it's not like the art is the low tech point, but unlike the stuff we did for Thai, we don't have the same engine. It was the later Merkury engine, so it means all that code stuff is all stuff that's got to get reworked. But
so what is it, Merkury 3?
3, yeah.
Which we haven't really touched yet, have we? So it's a big unknown.
Yeah. Big unknown is putting it nicely. But the guys have got good. The stuff they've been doing on this other Switch project is insane. How they've got it running. It shouldn't even work on a Switch realistically.
Yeah, nobody asked. We can't tell.
Yeah, but it's impressive.
Total fail.
I think as the CEO likes to say, though, while she says, anyone can go on like Moby Games and do a search and figure stuff out.
I think you can actually go on the Nintendo site and do a search and find stuff.
Well, I don't think it says Krome Studios.
No, I don't think it does either, but yeah.
Everyone's furiously typing away now on their keyboards looking.
Oh, so it's this. Okay, so this thing here, we got this effect. It's a ground pound.
A ground pound.
Right, so she'll slam into the ground, and what it was meant to be was like you'd just go through one layer of rock, or whatever that you're smashing through. But when we first put it in, it was a bug, and we went through like 5 layers of unconnected rock, and it was amazingly cool looking. So we left it in. And it's like, oh yeah, that's cool. Let's just keep it.
So she's got a lot of different moves, and sword as well. Do you have a rough idea of how many different things you can do?
There's a lot, because there's not just her. Later on, you get her sidekick Skiffy,
yes,
which gives you its moves. Well, it's got a move thing. Like she's got her attacks. There's a whole bunch of. Okay, see the little angry head down there on the bottom left? If you look,
yeah,
she's got full stamina, and she's got, I guess, rage is probably the thing. Now, if I attack someone, this is a little gameplay stuff I put in. It's kind of mentioned, but it's not really mentioned. It's just cool stuff that I want you to find out when you're playing it. But if I attack him when I got the rage thing on, you get the slow-mo attacks and the special move for each sword.
Oh, yeah.
And the big slow-mo thing. It was just something put in because it was fun.
Code Sierra Oscar Lima.
Oh, here we go. There's a ship.
That's a ute.
A ute?
Yep.
I still struggle with that here in Australia.
Why? It's a nice, simple, logical word.
I still call things trucks. But that's not what they are here. I think they're utes, right? But then the thing that looks like an old Camino. I don't know. I get confused.
So they're auto-targeting platforms, so I just wanted to look cool, jump into small stuff.
Mm.
A lot of stuff is like, I wanted to do cool stuff, and a lot of this game, I will say, is an homage to Strider, which is one of my favorite arcade games.
Nice.
Which was a cinematic adventure like this, side-scrolling thing where the character could climb a lot of places. First time I played it was traveling home from my first trip overseas to Comic-Con in San Diego in 1989. I had a stopover in Hawaii, so I was in Waikiki, and there was an arcade, and I went in and I had had a Strider arcade machine, which I'd been reading about because I was a real arcade head. I'd read all the magazines back in the day. And I sat down, I don't know how many quarters I pumped into that for that day. Oh, lovely Waikiki, I'm playing games.
That's all right. So you played Strider.
Yeah, and I've always wanted to do something in that same vein. There's only been a couple of games like that. Half of them by the guys who did the original game.
Anybody here played Strider? I'm curious. I'm gonna have to go look it up. I'm not familiar with it. Oh, she's got bandages on her head now. Uh-oh, she doesn't look so good.
Yeah, the health things change as you change your health. So she's happy now, 100%.
Okay.
All the status stuff changes. Like this girl's... It'll recharge. So the pink circle is her health, and the green one is her stamina. Mm-hmm. Which you can upgrade in the game.
So I think maybe I missed that. So there's that outer bar, and you said that's the stamina, and the pink inner circle is her health.
Yeah, so I can use stamina by holding down the right trigger, and I can dash, and that gives you longer jumps and faster running and stuff.
Pizza Hut. I remember Pizza Hut.
Here's a fun thing. In Australia, in Brisbane, sorry, not Australia, they got rid of all the old dine-in Pizza Huts. So they're just the takeaway ones. So I think that's what they've done in America. But there is, in fact, one Pizza Hut about 20 minutes from me that actually has a eat-in. It's the... which one is it? I'm trying to remember the name of the suburb. Browns Plains.
Yeah.
It's not even like a proper restaurant. It's like a little shop front thing, but they can eat there. It's the only one in Brisbane that's actually got the buffet and stuff.
Oh, the buffet. Eat pizza. Mm.
When I was a kid, I remember this was 1970 something, like 75 or earlier.
Is this a pizza story?
Yes. All stories lead to pizza.
That's true.
The first Pizza Hut in Brisbane was in Indooroopilly. And I remember we went there. It used to open at 12 o'clock. And we went there for lunch. I think it was a Sunday. And my mum had to pee and we had to wait. And there was a lineup outside to go to the Pizza Hut on a Sunday when they first opened. It was the only one in Brisbane. But I just remember that day. And that's when my mother lied to me about anchovies.
Oh, she lied to you.
Oh, yeah.
What did she say?
So we had a supreme pizza, which I think had ground beef on it. And I asked, what's this spicy thing? And I think it was the ground beef now. And she told me it was anchovies, so I'd always get anchovies. And I actually like anchovies a lot now.
Oh.
I love anchovies. I put it in my pizza last night.
What's that red thing on the wall? Is that just a squirrel or something? There's something running around on the wall up higher than you are.
Your eyes deceive you. That's a red-tailed lizard. They're a pest.
It's a lizard.
We got lots of critters and stuff just in the background. They're not important. They're just stuff that's there because I wanted to build. There's a lot of world building in this.
Yeah.
You see, they're actually infesting the place. And they're all, one of the later levels. There's big signs everywhere saying, it's not in English, but it's basically get rid of the lizards.
What the?
Yay, team!
Here's my favorite trick. I let you killing guys through the floor.
Killing guys through the floor. Alright. Oh. When you have a floating sword, why not?
All stuff that was done on purpose for the gameplay, the sword collects the hex as well. So if you're running around trying to get stuff and you can't quite reach it, you can slash at it with the sword and it will collect it.
You told me the sword has a name.
Well, this one is actually the free blade, but it gets upgraded later on in episode 2 to the dark blade.
Ah.
It's a software upgrade.
Yeah.
You get other swords later on, Grengus and Bastar. Those are just swords. They're not the blade, the free blade.
Well, it is a very detailed world.
This is one level, and okay, there is one fairly accurate critique of the game. Is the levels are huge, and I mean they are huge. They feel like they go on forever in a good way. If you're like exploring, like there's just tons of stuff to find in them, and you get rewarded for going off the beaten path. But that's one of the things I really wanted to have. You'll notice like, oh, there's stuff coming off the ceiling. Oh, okay, look, it's a cracked floor. You can see the floor's broken. And you're up there, and look, bonus stuff.
Oh yeah. So the levels are really large, lots to explore. Is there a map or something where you've been, or?
Nope.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that would have been a cool thing to add, but we just probably should just make the levels shorter. But I like them big. It's like like I said, it pays off exploring. If you want to go and just run through it, you're probably not going to enjoy it as much, but you're missing out on all the game. So
Waiting for TIE 5 Wild Saber. I think that one's a really, really, really super big project. I think we need more people, more budget, more people subscribe to the Insider and on the social media, so we can go to publishers and say, look, there's an audience.
It really is the thing.
It's just bigger.
Yeah, we've got like I've got 20 years of ideas for TIE 5. Ones that are going to get made and ones that won't get made, but to do a decent one, it's even the same level of TIE 1 that everyone's with the graphics everyone's expecting now. And I'm not even talking like say Spider-Man level graphics, just something that would run nice on a Switch and look pretty. That's a lot of work. You're talking about the original TIE game. It would take about 3 or 4 days to build a character and rig them up. In Blade Kitten, it took 3 weeks to do a character because you've got higher res textures and you've got normal maps and stuff on them, and they're much more detailed. And assuming a TIE one would be at least as complicated as Blade Kitten if we were going for this kind of style. I'm not saying we are, but just assuming this level. So that's like every character is about a month's worth of work.
For one person, yeah.
Yeah, for one person. That's not getting them animated. That's just making the character and texturing them. Then you guys like, well, someone's got to then animate all the character, and then it's got to be coded, and it just blows up really quickly. If you want to do a good game, and I want to do a good game, TIE 5 has to be a cool successor to the TIE Crown. That's a good way of putting it. But it's got to, it's got to be special. It can't just be, oh, here's a TIE game with some, boomerangs in it. We understand that's with TIE 4. People are like, oh, it's it's not 3D and stuff. Yeah, we get that. It's a smaller budget. And that's what you get with a smaller budget. So we want a good budget to make an awesome TIE game if we do another one. Okay, so here's a puzzle. I can't run forward. That's not a bug. I can't get there because of the wind. There's a sword.
The wind.
I can't reach the sword. What am I going to do? Jump over it? Oh, not quite. Or, and I like people get stuck in this quite often, which is my favourite.
It's your favorite that people get stuck here.
Yeah, because they don't think about what you can do. They just assume you go and slash stuff.
Yeah.
But there's more to it, and that's like I've seen a lot of people doing Let's Plays and with Blade Kitten, it's like, oh, it's not much there. It's like you aren't actually playing it. Yeah, that's the thing.
That's a really cool intro. Do you want to show us something else about the game?
I might not be able to.
No?
I don't think
I thought you loaded a debug version that we could cheat.
Oh, I don't know. I started a new game, so the level I can got no levels selected now, so I can either finish this level off quickly. It's probably another 5-10 minutes, and then I'll get this first level. I'll do that. I'm pretty close. I will run through and not do.
What is the average gameplay length for this game? Because I know like TIE it's like 8 to 10 hours, right?
Yes. Well.
TIE 1.
Yes. I'm just thinking in level select. One of the features in this one is it actually will track how long you spent on each level as well for the stats. So if you go through level select, it tells you like your best time for the level, as you can see at the top left, top right, and the collectibles you have on each level, so you know how much there is to collect. Which is another thing we had the original TIE, but when we started doing the other games, we sort of lost that feature, which is a shame. but there's a full status of the whole game, right? So that's all the stuff you have. You get a rank. Oh, that's the stuff I was looking for before. Damn. You've got costumes.
This is great. I love a good collect-a-thon.
This is the biggest collect-a-thon I've ever done. There's tons of action stuff as well. Like there's, I'm just wondering if I could actually just run the debug one separately for a sec. Will that break everything? It'll probably break everything. Look, I'll just go on. I'll go on to other features and I'll quickly try and finish the level up so you can see the second level. Okay. So you've got Kit's costumes. Now these darkened ones are ones that you can buy with your hex. So you want to save up money to buy a costume. It's a flight suit.
That's great.
Got everyone's favorite pajamas.
Oh, they're the slippers. Yep.
And he plays Justice.
So good to get some more T rating older stuff. The E rating stuff on Ty is fun, but you know, a little sassier here.
Bunny Girls. Space Pirate Bunny Girls.
Space Pirate Bunny Girl. That's cool.
Hologram. I don't know who this guy is. Never seen him before. So that's the Thai mascot suit costume, which looks just like the Thai suit. That was the point.
No, that's pretty funny. We do have that Thai suit.
Lucy.
So Info Symphony says that they had a friend that spent 3 hours on the second level because they got a little bit lost.
Yeah, that's easy enough to do. But there's all big arrows everywhere. Like there's large green arrows pointing in the direction you should go. I know some of the level designers weren't quite keen on that. Sometimes they just wanted people to get lost. I'm like, nah, give them a bit of a hint. At least the main path.
Yeah, you guys see the bot in the chat as well. It's funny. You know, that happens on the Kickstarters too, because I run those. I'm the one running the Kickstarters in the background, and one of the things we get is things like you just saw with that chat, people offering to promote for you and all sorts of different things, and it's like, no, it's okay. It's just spam. But the Kickstarter people are like, don't respond, let us know, you know, we want to delete that.
I've just got some characters, so I love looking at the models.
Oh, she's neat.
So yeah, tons of costumes, and then we go back, and then you have the blades you can buy. Blade. I think
some of them have that Victorian vibe about them, don't they?
Yeah, that's one of my costume passions is Victorian style costumes. So I try and get that to a sci-fi thing because it just makes it look more interesting than just the general. Here's a standard jumpsuit that you get normally. It's like, let's get some Victorian silhouettes in there just because it just gives you a different look. Okay, let's try and get this level finished off quickly so we can get out of here. You can walk between areas. Little sword thing, turns this thing on, go back and walk back to the back level.
What is that, like a warp point?
Yeah, so you jump between levels, so sometimes you'll jump into the foreground and background. So now that that's turned on, the switches for that. I want to run through there so I don't get killed. Yeah, a lot of people get stuck there and they're doing their Let's Plays because they're like, oh, I'm such a great player, and they always get stuck on that one. Yes. I love it. Yeah, here's some bit of a platformy puzzly stuff. There you get these crates going up.
Yeah.
And then we have our ever-friendly lasers ready to kill you.
Yeah.
There's multiple ways of going up. You can go around the side. Obviously, it's easier on the. So there's our green arrows. Go that way. Okay, we're getting close. Jumpy, jumpy. Hit the switch, go back.
Oh, you turn that on. Oh, turn the lasers off. Yep. I like how you handle that right there where it disappears, right? The foreground.
The cutouts.
Mm-hmm. It's really nice how that works.
I tried a lot of stuff on this game. Not all of it works, but a lot of stuff I'm really happy with. I'm most proud of this game because it's everything I wanted in a game to play. I mean, look, just the action, the whole idea of everything's supposed to flow. It's not like trying to do combo moves and press combo buttons like some games, and people like, oh, you should have Street Fighter combo moves. Like, no, I don't want that in the game. I want it to be like flowing around and flowing. Well, I use the word flow a lot, but that's basically it. It's supposed to be harmonious, I guess. Oh, that was naughty of him.
So, K-Dash, you say it's a lot of fun. I'm curious, what is it that you find really fun about Blade Kitten?
Well, I find fun about Blade Kitten.
Well, I know, you made it.
No, I love exploring in games like this.
You like the exploring and getting lost in the levels?
Yeah, I enjoy
discovering,
trying to work out how to get to some place. Like, one thing we do a lot of is you can see where you want to go.
Too slow, sunshine.
Give it up, Ballard. You're playing in the wrong end of the pool.
What, the toddler's waiting pool?
Very droll, Ballard.
Ta-ta.
Oh, you like taking your time. Completionist.
You are so going to regret this.
One thing you'll notice to this level, it's, you know how we say it's 2D side-on, but if you notice the background, we're actually looking up at the top of the hole now. The gravity's changed, but we didn't make any big deal about it. So now we're looking at the top of Hollow Wish, which is like a big hollow mountaintop thing. So now you see all the stuff's going up. You're looking down on the top of the ships now and stuff. There's a one level later on that really plays with stuff like that. Okay, we're almost done. Here we go. Right, end of level. And that took me running through it. 23 minutes and 32 seconds. So, yeah. That's not getting everything.
No.
No, I don't want to continue. I'm playing Mario Wonder, so my yes and no buttons are flipped around memory-wise on my finger at the moment. That's why I'm screwing up stuff. So, here's the sort of stuff we do. Like, oh, there's a bit over here. Oh, look, there's bonuses hidden inside there because you went left. Now we're going to get to the normal part of the game now.
Oh, hello! You want to buy somethings? I sell you lots. Oh, top good merchandise.
No, thanks.
It's just at the Bunnings sausage sizzle on Saturday.
Yes, you looking for it? Yes. Tonne only sell top good quality.
No, I'm after...
This you after? Mint in box?
No. Hey, it's not even in a box.
I recognize that.
Yep.
I'm looking for a breaker.
Tonne got none in stock. You put an order and I get one in 2, maybe 3 weeks, okay?
Sure, that sounds perfect. But no, I really need one right now, so sorry, I'm gonna have to look somewhere else.
Fine. You go. Tonne very hungry now. Eat his lunch. Stupid Skiff take lunch again 3rd day. Special order import too. Pinky help Tonne get lunch back? I give the perfect goods for you, okay?
Deal.
And that is Hundert Tonne. Is one of my favorite characters in the game because you think he's just a shopkeeper, but actually is really important to the end of the story and is like one of the major characters. And now the Weaporium has opened up, so we can go in there.
Hello, Pinky.
And you can buy stuff. We can buy some red tail soup, which is the little lizards we were talking about before.
Oh, yeah.
That most favorite. Good seller. Tonne low on stock now.
Or we can get, so that upgrades our health, or we can get the milk from a Noot, which you'll see soon. That
Milk
That's
from a
special
Noot.
order import. Last one in stock. Yes, very good.
You know, I'm looking at that font. As a production question, I'm wondering, is that a custom font?
it is. we spent a lot of time trying to get rights to fonts and stuff. Then I just said, screw this, I'm making my own font one afternoon.
All right, note to self, ask Steve to send me the font.
That's there's a few versions of that. That's Lithorian bold. Then there's also like a more angular version of it. No, that's clean. Sorry, that's clean chromic. Lithorian is the font that you'll see, the weird alien font. It's in the background. Let's buy a sword. Can we afford a sword? No, we can't afford a sword.
Kickstarter reward. A font.
Pinky don't have enough hex to buy. You like guaranteed. Good. Get rid of bad stuff.
I like the symbol for the hex currency. Like a yen,
Yep.
but an X.
All the currency ones have the 2 lines through them mostly. That's
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's change into our costume that I've got. Free ones, because you get a bunch of free costumes in the game, so they're all ones I've got to buy. But these are the ones that we added in, later. So they're all free. I'm going to go with... no, I don't want that. I don't want... I go the flight suit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love those colors.
So now we're chasing Skiffy down. Fun fact, I named my first dog after Skippy. Well, not my first dog, my last dog. No, not my last dog, because I got Mickey. The previous dog. We were working on this, and I got a border collie, and I wanted a cool name for him. And I was like, I have this rule, not really a rule, but a theory that, oh look, there's the red tails sign. That a good dog name should be something you can have. It's 2 syllables that you can shorten to 1, so it still sounds good. So Skiffy was shortened to Skiff. And it's like, oh yeah, that works. And my current dog is Mickey, which gets called Mick, or Mix,
or Floof,
or Floof, or Prince Needleteeth, or Shitstain, or
Shitstain. That's mean.
He doesn't care. Mickey. He had an operation last week, had a big thing removed, and he's been doing really, really good. We're out of the Elizabethan collar stage now. He hasn't been licking at his wound or anything, so took him to the vet on Saturday, and they're like, yeah, he's doing really good. But that's my good news. Oh, that's a skiff too.
Nice.
That's a flying skiff called an Athamus skiff. You collect them for bonus stuff. This little bonus area, some extra hex. We ran underneath that before, if you might remember.
Cat Captain. That's cute as a nickname, Cap.
That's Cap the cat. Cap cat.
Cat Captain.
Oh, I'm shortening it because I'm going to do that.
Bye-bye, Pinky Pussycato.
Can you go in and out of the
Hey there,
screen,
buddy.
Z dimension?
Don't be scared.
You mentioned you could port like that or something.
Only through the port stuff, because I wanted to keep it locked off because it gets too confusing. You can actually play the whole game in 3D technically,
What are you doing back here?
but we lock it off.
Oh, I was just taking my little friend here for a walk.
Didn't your mother teach you not to play with vermin?
Oh yeah, lots of Star Wars references with Steve. He loves Star Wars.
Nope.
I think it's funny that we're doing Thai Gunyip, and I even designed the frills to look like biker scouts from Star Wars, and Ty's details on his belt were very Star Wars looking. So one of the animators was like saying,
Look at you. You've changed.
he's like, oh, it's very Star Wars. And I go, yeah, I guess it is. And that was for the game that we're working on that, and 5 months, 4 or 5 months after we finished Thai 3, working on the 4th game. It was just a flight sim Thai game, very Star Warsy. There's TIE fighter sort of stuff and all that stuff. And then come back from Christmas break and it's like, we got a friend at LucasArts, Steve. He's got us some games that they want us to maybe take a look at and do a request for proposal. And it's like, should we do that? I'm like, yes, do it. The next day we got this couple of RFPs back from the publisher, and one was
an RFP is hang on. An RFP is a request for proposal.
Yes. One was for Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, and the other one was for an Indiana Jones game on the Wii. And I was just looking through I would have done wanted to do either of those would have been fine. But I'm looking through designs like, oh, the Wii ones got this. They want to do this weird control stuff that looks really complicated and un-indie-like for the. You press this button and tilt the controller to this angle, and then it just didn't feel natural. Star Wars didn't have a Wii version at the time, but it's like, this sounds really cool. You got to the first thing I had to do for that was there was the first level like. We want to see like a level layout for you're playing as Darth Vader and you're attacking this Wookiee village, and I'm like, oh, I am so in on that. I told Robert, we're going after this aggressively.
Yes.
And we did.
And that was great. That was the first Star Wars game to make use of the Wii, and everyone had expectations of having that lightsaber feeling, which was, of course, complicated by the Wii Motion. And, it was a new tech. It wasn't quite there yet. But you guys did good.
The fun thing was there was no Wii signed up, and we got hold of a Wii dev kit through our friends at Nintendo, and we did a bit of smoke and mirrors to show it to LucasArts to actually get them interested in signing up a Wii version. And basically, you'd still press the buttons as you swing the stuff around. We didn't actually swing stuff around. There was no motion control originally. It was just basically you'd press the buttons and the lightsabers would move based on mapped over the character stuff. It was really rough for the first one. And we showed it to LucasArts, and they're like, oh wow, it really feels like you control it. It's like, yeah, actually no, you're just pressing the buttons. But imagine what it'd be like when we do have the controls and what you can do. It's like, and it was like, yeah, okay. And we learned a lot about the motion control stuff. Like, fun little fact: when you think you're like doing a downswing or something, people forget that we found out when we were actually monitoring the things that actually first you do an upswing. Then you do the downswing. So what you think is a downswing is an up and down. You can track that kind of motion. It's like it sort of changed the way we did everything. And yes, it was pretty cool. But yes, Star Wars is very much laced through everything I did. And after finishing Force Unleashed, it was like we were talking to LucasArts about doing Force Unleashed 2. I was actually talking about taking over that project. It was going to be like an internal thing, and I was kind of burnt out on Star Wars because it was just 2 years of we put everything into it internally, and there was time to actually have all the external stuff as well. So it was just a huge mental drain doing Star Wars, and I thought I could do another Star Wars game, and it'd be fun because we're talking about the original ideas they had were great, and there was like Yoda as a playable intro character as opposed to the Darth Vader. I thought, oh, that could be interesting. The thing like, look, I could do that, or I could do my own thing. Someone else will make a Star Wars game. No one else will make Blade Kitten. So I wanted to do that just to have it done. So I thought, okay, look, I'm not going to do the Star Wars one. And then it's like, yeah, we sat down and we were doing Blade Kitten and trying to work out how to do that. Because I've been trying to do this since TIE 1. There was one built with the TIE engine, a 3D Blade Kitten demo on PS2. There was stuff we were trying to do for PSP, like the side-scrolling stuff, and a lot of that goes into this. But yeah, this was like all the stuff I really want to do. Here is the Skiffy moves where he goes inside and he can get to other areas and hop in the machinery and he'll pee in it.
Oh, because that only happened at work for real, right?
Well, that's from the comic as well. But that's how you take it.
The real Skiffy dog did come into the office once, and he did pee on a computer or two.
Oh no, that was Gordy's dog did a big shit.
Oh gosh.
Next to Ballard's desk.
Team.
Oh my gosh. Crazy.
But yeah,
Eric Sannon wants to know if you missed an announcement. No, Eric, I don't think you missed much, but we're gonna post the video on YouTube later. We're just hanging out. I haven't played Blade Kitten before, and I got to start writing about the Kickstarter page and coming up with things, so I wanted to have Steve show me around a little bit, and somebody else asked on Reddit. They hadn't played it yet, so yeah, we thought we'd just sit here and hang out with you guys, see what questions you had, and share some inside information.
Yep, I am happy to answer questions and stuff too. Like if you're going to, oh, I broke it. Check that out. Glitch it. So one of the things we were trying to do with this is like these automatic moves and stuff. So you can see how it's glowing, and wanted to get up there automatically, but they are really tricky when you have physics as well. So you'll get a lot of glitches in places sometimes, but it's pretty solid for most things. Yeah. I like I can just climb around there just by pushing the joystick in the direction I want to go.
What was your inspiration for Blade Kitten? Well, we did talk about that at the beginning.
It was just 80s anime.
Maybe a shorthand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really, it was like I wanted to do a game that was all the 80s and 90s sci-fi anime tropes and stuff that I grew up with. And hang on, I'm trying to talk and kill this guy at once. Give me a sec. Right. So yeah, this game was like me putting to put all the stuff I wanted to see in a game for like, even since we're doing 2D platformers in bitmap games back in the early 90s. So it's taking all that stuff and doing it in 3D and making it look pretty. Well, I think it looks pretty.
So I read all the social posts, and when we do advertisements, I read the comments there, and Reddit. You know, whatever you guys have questions, just ask. We read everything. We don't always answer everything, but we try. We're pretty open. So always feel free to reach out. Oh yeah, Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, that was, yeah, late 90s Cowboy Bebop. The 90s Trigun show I really liked. No, the 2000s Trigun, sorry, the early one. Even though the show never really, anyway, had the really good design style.
Go get him.
Here you go, getting Skiffy to actually go out there and pick up stuff for you.
Is that what that icon above her head meant? It's like you're changing.
It's basically press the button. If you see a green Skiffy, that means you can go do stuff. If he gets angry,
one of the rewards we're talking about for a Blade Kitten Kickstarter is some kind of Skiffy plush or something. We're not quite sure. We're working on a few different designs. We'll probably put it out for a poll.
We're butting heads, aren't we?
That's one way to say it.
No,
but
we're having discussions over that because there's a couple of possibilities and we're not sure which one. Like I have one that I kind of like, but I can see the validity of doing a different one. And
there's so many choices. And honestly, from the Boomerang from the Tai 2 Kickstarter, we learned a lot. Yeah. So we realized there's a lot of different materials we can work with and textures and things. So we're trying to just figure that out, what would make a nice product.
Where are you, Noinks?
I hate the bladers, they're tough.
So with this being a 3D game, like I'm really liking how bright the marketplace is. That's all lighting, right? That's not done in texture. That's done in, because there's shadows and things. There's like a light source in this world.
Yeah, there's one light source doing shadows. Because that was part of the anime, the 2 simple shadow look stuff. Technically, there's some interesting stuff with, there's a gradient for each of the shadow textures for the colors, so we can have a bit of control of how smooth or hard it is. Because one thing I was going off, the way I did the comics early on, they weren't flat cell shaded, as in like hard edges. They were kind of a bit more airbrushy edged. So I was trying to capture that in this. I think I did a pretty good job. Oh, I went back the wrong way.
There's Otendo. I was wondering when you'd come back. Retro Guy, what do you, or maybe Steve, you can answer this question. The MC would make a good statue, I think. The MC, what's that?
Main character?
Main character.
Yes.
Slang, I don't know.
Yes, that's one of the plans actually, is to do the another big character statue for the high-end.
And Kate asks about, is Noinks a made-up slang term,
yes,
or is it a real slang term?
It's a very real slang term in my head. It's something I made up in the comic. I just wanted to, like, you'll hear FalterDan as well, which is something I misheard in Star Wars once, and I thought that's a really good word, so I've been using that ever since.
Yes, Ty is in this game as a little cameo. Is he in this marketplace or a different one?
Yeah, he's at the start of this level.
Oh, did we miss him?
Yeah, we were running past him talking about other stuff.
You're right, Eric. He is in this game.
Nice.
Well, we've got we're running up to the end of our time, aren't we?
Yep.
I can I can stop and go back and show you the start of the level. I have a nice easy way of actually getting extra levels if I don't start from the beginning with the debug version. We are still quite away from finishing that level, so I'm going to go back, do a level select, start this one again. I have started and did a 8-page Blade Kitten manga, black and white manga, as a test. That's done. That's available for my patrons. Over on Patreon. Free download. I haven't finished the rest of that story, but I will eventually. Actually, I'll probably redo it because it's like I'm not that happy with it. But hey. So let's run past him. Skip this cutscene.
So Eric's asking where he can maybe read it. Do you do that through your Patreon? Because you have a Patreon.
Yeah. I can. Oh, there we go. Hang on. If we get sidetracked again, but look.
There he is. There he is. No, go back.
There you go. And that's the one we used when we were doing the TIE 5 test. It's actually a design specific for this game. But I like the way it looks there with the shading, and I can't show you it on this version, but if I had a debug one, I could zoom in and show you what it looks like. Oh, that's a Noot there, that blue thing. They're the lizard thingies. They're odd toed ungulates.
Where were you looking? The
There.
blue thing.
That thing in the front with the stripes, purpley striped thing.
Oh, that's a Noot.
Yep. You get to ride one. The next level is Kit riding a Noot around the level, or chasing after Justice. So you get to ride them occasionally as well. So that's a whole extra moveset there. I love them. They're so cool.
I want to address something that Mad Danny talked about. He says, seeing this game again has me thinking what a good tabletop game you could make out of the IP. We've been toying around with the idea of maybe a card game for Ty, and just thought I'd take the opportunity of the few of you guys that are here. What do you think about something like that? I'm curious because, like, with Ty 4 being 2D and not being 3D, you know, I'm like, oh, a card game, maybe that's too different? But maybe it'd be really good. I don't know.
Let's see if they notice us now. Oh, look at me.
Oh, are you hidden as a costume? They don't notice you?
No. The guys in the background don't do anything anyway, but...
I'm looking at you.
What kind of card game are we thinking? It's a nice, simple... I say simple. It's very accessible card game. Like, you don't need lots of pieces. It's basically... It's the cards and all the gameplay's there, but it's very tie-based as well. So,
well, we've got a prototype on what, Game Simulator on Steam?
Well, not available for everyone, but yeah.
No.
Tabletop
Just
Game
internal.
Simulator.
Yeah.
We've been playing it, testing it out. We're getting a bunch of the final. What's the final? But we've done the full set of cards with the full art. I've been working with an artist at Krome, Kate, who's been doing all the cards. She's been picking up my style.
Hey, I like Monopoly.
Yeah, Monopoly's great. There's lots of Monopoly. We like a Baramudji's board. With like Baramudji Town, all of blah thingy. Yes, we could do that one day, but that's basically Hasbro coming to you saying, yes, we'd like to license it. Or,
if only.
Yeah, don't quite work that way.
Well, we've given a lot of secrets out today and some inside information. Thank you guys for coming along.
Would people like to see
we
another one?
We should do this again.
Yeah, do you want to see another one in the future? Say yes or no. Oh, can I put a poll in? Oh, I can't on this one. You can normally on the thing, but I haven't got the tool set up for it. It's a shame.
I need to go back in here to Twitch and update this page too.
Yes, it's a bit out of date. I'm actually looking at the dashboard. So you can add polls. I'm sure there was an option for that. They've moved it around. It's been so long since I've done it. But yes, if you want to see more streams of this, we could do these probably the same time, or maybe it's a different time for the followers in Europe and stuff, because they get screwed with the time zones, whereas it's better for us in America at this time. Yeah, we do kind of exclude Europe, unfortunately. They'll survive. We'll do more. I'll unlock the rest of the levels for next time, and we can actually check them out then. With extra stuff. Actually, I went to the debug one because then I can really cheat. It gives you access to everything. But yeah, so thanks for coming along.
No, it was good. I learned a lot.
And like we said, if you've got any questions, hit us up on social because we will try and answer them if it's a good. Obviously, it's a good question. If it's a silly question of some sort, we'll answer it with a silly answer.
So yeah, we talk about Blade Kitten on the Krome channels. We leave Thai mostly for Thai, and we've started a Reddit for those who don't know to talk more about Blade Kitten and an upcoming Kickstarter.
Also, there's the Blade Kitten Facebook and Twitter. I'm still running those because it's just my thing I've been doing.
Yeah, that's Steve.
That's
lovely.
That's the large Blade Kitten marketing team. It's just it's us.
And you, Steve, and a little bit of me. Yep.
That's
well, I'm happy. I'm so happy to. I mean, I love time, but it's good to have something a little more mature, some new colors and things to work with, and new music. I love working on the Blade Kitten Steam marketing because it's nice, it's different, and it's refreshing.
Yeah, I mean, like we've doing Thai for the last. Let's see, it's from when we started doing the HD remasters on Steam. So I've been doing like the same Thai games. Like I've done Thai for 3 times. All the Thai games I've worked on at least 3 different times. Like so every version. So there was the original ones, and then there was the Steam ones, and then there was say the Switch new ones. So I love Thai, but you just need to change from it sometimes. And Blade Kitten is like. It's very different from Thai, but it's the same in some ways. It's the same.
It's you.
Yeah. There's some common element. We just can't put our finger on what the hell.
Yes. All right. But, thank you, everyone.
Thanks for coming, everyone. We'll catch you later. And I got to press the stop button, don't I?